Yo, ladies and gentlemen, pimps and players, half-ass rappers, and true line players. This is not the Carter. Shout out to my young son, but this is the Up to It podcast. I am your host, your mediator, your moderator, whatever you want to call me. They call me the Backpack Prophet. They call me crazy. They used to call me Bright King. They call me that nigga who speaks in those poetic words. My name is CJ Partridge. With me today, with my esteemed brethren, is certified to God, the man behind all the plans that we concoct, the man who wears his fedora so flawlessly, the man who teaches you how to pair good ass music with good ass cigars. And if you think he's joking, don't worry, he got you. And to my right, the man, the myth,
I see what you did.
the man, the myth, the legend. They talk of this man's achievements in choral arrangements. That means bitches get together and sing about the crazy shit he has done.
I hope they don't. I really hope they don't.
The man that has conquered so many beer bottles. They sing elegies to him in 4-part harmony over Heineken and Corona bottles. He is the one. He is the only. He is the true definition of if it hits you, put it back. If you get killed, walk it off.
Walk it off, baby.
One of the only men that I can walk into a bar with, get into a fight, and if you see us going against the liquor, you better go motherfucking help the liquor. John, sticky Thursday. It's a special night, gentlemen.
As soon as you said the hit back part, I had got a flashback real quick.
Special night, gentlemen. Special night. Special night, gentlemen.
Usually that line come after a rough one.
I know. Or before a rough one.
Yeah.
Sometimes we were wise enough to see
you're on the edge of death. Shit.
It's a special night, gentlemen. It's a special night for me. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm in the zone. Somebody saw 38 years ago today, God looked down and said, hey, on a hot summer day, he looked upon the hospital in Miami Beach and he said, you know what? Let's shake some shit up. Let's shake some shit up. Let's do something different. Like let's give the people what they want. And he dropped the old little cancer baby down into Mount Sinai Hospital and put him in the charge of Linda Ray and Charles Alexander Parkinson Sr. Who would have known? 38 years later, they would have walked out with a concrete cracking, shit talking, poetry writing, I don't know, Ric Flair wooing type of motherfucker like me. But it is the day of my birth, the day I made it out the bando. So happy motherfucking birthday.
He said made it out the bando.
Con fuego pide bomba.
Cheers, my nigga.
Cheers.
I know I'm drinking out the coffee cup, but I'm trying to match it because
I gotta give me another. I'm gonna give you another one, yo.
But yeah, it's my birthday today. I feel good. God's been good to me. It's been a hell of a year, but I'm here doing what I love. I've been able to do what I love. I've been putting out books. I've been writing again. So I feel good. And I am with my brothers in the middle of the night, and we are cooking up a good one. We got a good one for you motherfuckers today. What is success? What is success? And does it require that you have to be in the forefront to accomplish said success? Are you only successful if everybody knows about it? Or is a good job the job that you know is going to get done in the end? And we be forgetting because we be drinking and, we done gave y'all cigars and, we be giving y'all all these these tips on success or whatnot. But at the end of the day, we drink and we talk anime. We talk millennial shit, but we talk anime. So today, the topic is success without the spotlight. And we're gonna highlight some of our greatest anime characters and how they achieve success outside of the spotlight and what they did with the spotlight when they got it. Because some of the greatest motherfuckers that we know in anime got that spotlight and gave it right back. They did what they needed to do and they got up out of there. They never held on it for too long because they was never beat in forward. They wasn't the main character. And to be clear, we're highlighting people who might have contributed greatly to their story in the manga or anime, but they were never the main character. So we're not talking no Naruto's, we're not talking no deuter antagonists like Sasuke, we're not talking no Asta or we're not talking any fucking uh we're not talking about Yuji or fucking Megumi. We're not even talking about a fucking Nobar. We're not even motherfucking talking about a Gojo. Because he's too close. And everybody think that Gojo the main motherfucking character when they look at him. We're talking about those characters that had the spotlight, and when they had the spotlight, they did what they needed to do. When they came into their time to shine, win, lose, or draw, they did what needed to be done. So I'm not even gonna start this one off because I already know what I got. But brothers, my esteemed panel of sophisticated drinkers and smokers, tell me what y'all been pondering on because we've been talking about this for a week and I've been excited to get to this thing. So y'all tell me how y'all feel and how y'all approaching it and what y'all think. Which anime characters do y'all think had the most success without the spotlight?
All right. Listen, I've been on a fucking One Piece trip for a minute, so you know I gotta jump on this shit.
We never noticed.
Yeah, whatever, nigga. Red hair motherfucking Shanks.
Woo! Hey,
Red
man.
hair motherfucking Shanks.
Put the motherfucking shot up for goddamn Shanks. For red hair shit. Motherfucking Akagami, man.
Dog, because people don't understand like red hair the whole show could be about him.
True.
But instead of him taking the spotlight himself, because remember he did fight. You know, he was part of
Rogers crew.
Cody Rogers' crew. He didn't get a chance to go to Laugh Tale. But if you see him, you swear to God, he know everything fucking Rogers know.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, he's still cool with everybody that was in that bitch. Was like the most powerful motherfuckers that was out there. Other than the people that they're gonna bring out later. Like Rocky Zebek and all them people, but dog, he running it with everybody else. Marine Ford, dog, he shut that whole thing down without even doing anything.
Yeah.
Remember after Wano, when Buddy thought he was gonna come out here and crank up on everybody, he went ahead and did Wi-Fi fucking hockey.
Yeah.
oh boy, and sucked his ass.
Boy turned on the Wi-Fi in the ocean.
This nigga
Bro, he shut things down before shit even gets started. If he feels like Luffy's not ready to handle the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows once Luffy's ready, he gonna shut everything down. He's like, he even acknowledges that shit. He's like telling you, hey, look, this is not my story. But guess what? I'm gonna make sure whoever story this is, he's gonna have his shot. You're talking about Luffy.
And I think, that's the perfect way to start this off because I think the thing that everybody has to acknowledge is a character like Shanks, it could have easily been about him because he had the motivation. Like you said, he didn't get to go to Laugh Tale. And we still don't know what it was that Roger told him when he got back that made him shed tears. And there's so many motivations that he stayed because his best friend was sick. He stayed to take care of the buggy. He did an honorable thing. Staying helping his friends, regardless of the fact and understanding that they had to move forward. His whole motivation could have been about him building the crew that had the same type of archetype as Rogers' crew so that they could make it through. But the beautiful thing about Shanks is Shanks has the blueprint. Shanks is one of the only people, he's probably the one who by proxy of being on Rogers' crew was automatically, and us knowing what we know about him being a celestial dragon, about him gaining the type of powers that he gained and the pain and stuff like that. we knowing that he went to the Holy Land and learned other things and stuff like that, you know. Um, shit, for all we know, one of the things that Roger could have told Shanks when he came back because um, he looked to Roger as a father figure. So he could have basically told him, "Hey, man, the truth about it is that you a celestial dragon." That could have been something to make Shanks shed his tears and stuff like that. And that's one of the things I just recently thought about the other day, and that would have set him on his journey. You know, like those are all these things that they could have found out after they came back from Last Cell because we don't know what they discovered when they got there.
Well,
So Shanks could have went on a whole trip taking this shit so seriously, and then to get the laugh tale to realize that it wasn't that serious. But like you said, he plays the role of he plays the role of the person who removes or presents obstacles in a certain it's crazy because he only intervenes at certain times. He only intervenes at certain times, but he is really a remover of obstacles.
but not even intervening though, because he also was going to he was setting up Luffy's visits everywhere he went. Like you remember
Mm-hmm.
he went to Rayleigh, he went
Yeah,
to
the band,
Scopper,
stop it.
he went to and I think he even told Mihawk. He's like,
Yeah,
hey, watch out for this boy, he gonna be that guy.
yeah. And you know what's so crazy about that? He kind of fills the role of like a prophet, if that makes sense.
Right. Yes,
It's
yes, yes, yeah.
it's crazy. We getting started with the crazy shit earlier, but it's like he kind of came like with the prophet because he knew he's the one who experienced Luffy, and it's like he's going around telling everybody about this new Joy Boy or this person because of course, of course, Roger told them what he was looking for. Of course, Roger told them what they were looking for. And of course, Joy Boy has to be somewhere on Laugh Tale. It has to be something that's left on Laugh Tale that Joy Boy must have left behind, or the story of Joy Boy had to be somewhere there on Laugh Tale. And meeting Luffy and stealing the Hito Hito no Mi model Mika fruit. Shanks knew all this had to happen. So it's like he knew, it's gonna pull me into a parallel, um, but with one of my characters, but he knew what was gonna happen because it had already been revealed to him. So all he knew what he had to do is once he found out who the person was who was going to be that Joy Boy, he knew his job was to build a crew strong enough to still do what everybody else did. Because remember, it was still a requisite for everybody to build a crew strong enough to bust into the new world and deal with everybody in the new world. So he still had to build that crew. But that crew, all of them seem to understand the goal is not to just obtain the One Piece. The goal is to clear the way. Everybody understands that, and everybody on Shanks Crew seems to understand that everything that happens is a part of this plan. None of them have ever been like, okay, we're gonna go beyond this. We're gonna go beyond this because at the end we really just want the One Piece and we're done from it. It seems like everybody on Shanks Crew understands our goal is to maintain and to be strong enough to lead a level of power to lead the way and guide the person who is going to change the world. So we are necessary to maintain the balance until this person comes to power. You see what I'm saying? And that for me draws a parallel to one of my goats, one of the greatest characters in all of anime history to me. And not even fully understood, mourned over a lot, but not really understood. And that is the Toll Sage Jiraiya. Because Jiraiya's goal, the reason why Jiraiya is such a beautiful character is because Jiraiya knew from the jump of his journey that he was not the main character. As much as brash and as bold as he was, he knew he wasn't as smart as Orochimaru, and he knew he wasn't as talented as Tsunade, but he knew if he applied the hard work that he would achieve something. Even in his mistakes, he achieved something. And honestly, for me, his what I liked about the third what I liked about the third, and one of the good things that I enjoyed about Naruto is that every teacher shared qualities with all of their students, and that's what made them relate to them. Kakashi has something that he can share with each of his students. Kakashi felt the loss of growing up young, or losing a father, or losing a loved one, or I mean losing a parent, like Naruto lost parents, and like Sasuke lost parents. He felt the pain of losing his best friend. That's why he low key was adamant about helping Naruto when Sasuke left. Which is the same thing that was shared with Jiraiya. Jiraiya knew the pain of not being able to bring your best friend back. He tried to spare Naruto from that. And once he realized that Naruto couldn't be spared from that Naruto wasn't going to give up. What he did with Naruto was say, "I'm gonna take you under your wing so that you can fulfill what you want to do." Along that journey, he truly believed. That's when he started believing that with all the things that Naruto had going on, and he started understanding Naruto's temperament, he fully believed that Naruto would become the child of destiny. And that's when I really believe that he started teaching him and preparing him. Because remember, he had multiple people. There's a lot of things that you could argue. Jiraiya set a lot of shit in motion. Jiraiya set a lot of shit in motion that came back around, but he did with the intent of serving his purpose. Jiraiya understood, hey, like the great soul sage told him, somebody is going to come. You are going to be the person who teaches the child of destiny. We've seen it. It's foreseen. And not for nothing, he he knew that he knew that he ran into powerful people with a lot of potential. So it's crazy. It's not too far fetched to say, "Oh, Jiraiya fucked up," because Nagato could have most certainly been the child of destiny, because he was arguably the most powerful person Jiraiya had ever encountered, having a Rinnegan, a once in a lifetime or lifetime generational talent. Then you get blessed to teach Minato, who is a once in a lifetime prodigal talent, goes on to become the fourth Hokage. Naruto seems to be at the bottom of the list, but you know what he recognized in Naruto that he might not have recognized in Nagato or Minato? The understanding that Naruto wanted to understand why people hated, and he wanted to change their hearts. Like Nagato wasn't on that. Nagato just didn't understand why the world had to live in pain, which is one of the reasons why he became pain himself. Minato, I'm not trying to say Minato wasn't a kind man. He was a kind man, but that motherfucker wasn't to be played with. Minato still understood. He still was a leaf ninja. He went by the leaf rules. Hey man, we could be kind, but guess what? When it's time to put my foot on your neck, hey, everybody head getting chopped off. He grew up in a time of war. He didn't have no time for understanding what was right or what was wrong or what was going on. He had to serve, and him, Kakashi and them had that same mindset. You feel me? Now, Naruto grew up being hated, being despised for something that he wasn't. He was more receptive and open to understanding why people hate. Even in the midst of that, he didn't hate people. Even in the midst of being hated, he didn't hate people. He chose to understand, and his understanding is what drew people to him. The same way that Luffy's understanding draws people to him. It's Luffy's persistence and Naruto's persistence that draws people to them. Whereas when you can compare to other people and other characters, where it's their determination as well, but it's their persistence and insistence that we do this way. You know, um, and I noticed when Jiraiya saw that, he was already in the midst of fulfilling his prophecy, because in the meantime he was still of youth. He was still the most successful spy that Konoha had. Without him, they wouldn't have had a bevy of the knowledge that they had, a wealth of the knowledge that they had about the Akatsuki. Or remember, when they found out about the Akatsuki, it's because the only reason they really knew as much information as they knew on the Akatsuki is because Jiraiya found out that Orochimaru had joined the Akatsuki, but he left. And upon him leaving, he was like, "We still have to watch these guys because we don't know what they're doing, but they have plans." So if it wasn't for his intel, if it wasn't for his ability to show up at the right time. If it wasn't for his foresight and a lot of things that he did, if it wasn't for a lot of the foresight that he put in place and teaching and grooming Minato to do the same type of stuff, to teaching him all these other things and from learning from Minato, because that was a relationship where Minato was such a prodigy that he taught Jiraiya shit. And listen, that's one of the great things about mentorship and why everybody should have a mentor and why you have to build a legacy of something. Minato, if we want to get kind of meta, Minato actually did teach his son the Rasengan by teaching the people who were closest to him the Rasengan, if that makes sense. Minato, Naruto would have never learned the Rasengan. It would have never been a concept to him if Jiraiya had never learned it from Minato and Minato had never taught it to Kakashi. Because those are the people who gave him the most extensive training on that technique. And it's to the point where even when Minato came back, Minato was like, how far has that nigga gone with my technique? So he mastered it. Remember, Minato didn't even master it. Jiraiya didn't even master it. Kakashi didn't even master it. Naruto was the one who mastered it. So
Yeah, because he mastered it using different
shadow clone.
Well, just not even shadow clones. It was also because he used other chakra natures.
Yeah, and
his chakra nature
best suited it. His chakra nature was best suited to it because it was wind. So
even how he found out how to use the Rasengan, you know what I'm saying? He didn't use the Rasengan normally. Like he figured out a way to use this Rasengan. Like using using the shadow clones to form a Rasengan.
Correct.
So that took a level of genius.
Right. Man. And that's something. And see, the thing about genius is sometimes we look at people who automatically grasp something and understand the concept of it, a genius. But a genius is a genius is always also somebody who can dissect the concept and rework it for their own doing and make it even better.
Figure things out.
And then that goes to show you with the genius of Jiraiya, because like I think we were talking about this the other day, certified, how Jiraiya was known for taking small, low-ranked techniques and expanding their range or expanding their abilities to turn them into powerful techniques. Like mastering that less is more, and that's one of the reasons why I admire him as a character. He's one of my favorite characters besides him being a writer. But one of my favorite things about Jim is that he embodies one of my favorite quotes that I always tell y'all: start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And even in the things that he hadn't mastered, for example, told Sage Mode, even though he didn't master Sage Mode, what he could do with it, he expanded the ability of it. Even though he wasn't a master at it, what he could do with it, he took it to the absolute limit of it, you know? And that paved the way for Naruto to understand what he had to do to do it. And Jiraiya fell. Jiraiya died in battle, and it wasn't any shame in dying in battle because he died fighting an enemy he had no intel on, emotionally stunted because he had to wrestle with the fact that he has to kill some people who he raised. He had to kill children who he stayed and raised and made sure that they were good, you know? So his story in and of itself, even though it isn't the main story, it heavily impacted the entire story going forward. There were things that Jiraiya left behind. There were notes and there were pieces and places that he left behind. And even the beauty of the relationship between him and Naruto. Because listen, they wouldn't have had the intel they had on Pain if they couldn't bring Naruto in to understand Jiraiya's handwriting. So even even being a provision in death, and the only one who can understand is your student, you know? Like the only one who can crack the code is your student, you know? leaving things behind to raise a child of destiny. And he prepared, Jariah single-handedly prepared that entire generation, that entire generation. I would say 3 generations, because I would argue that the age that, well, I would say 4, because Monato's generation, and you could say that, well, you would say Nagato's generation, because Nagato probably was technically older than Minato, then Monato's generation, then Kakashi's generation, because he was a mentor to Kakashi, and Naruto's generation. So he influenced 4 generations after him. Some 3 of them good, 1 of them not so much. But he influenced the basic nature of the entire ninja world in doing his job to find the child of prophecy.
So
And
you telling me he'd have pretty much brought up 4 generations, pulled up to somebody else's territory with no home court advantage, and still almost won.
And really,
you got it. He right there.
Game 7. Really took the pussy niggas to a game 7. If we call it that.
Yeah, because he damn sure bodying them niggas.
And almost won the chip.
He took out like 3 pains. Right? He took out like 3 pads before.
He took 3 of them out, and that's just because they presented themselves.
That's an accomplishment.
And what I always admired about Jiraiya is that he, and what you could say was his fatal flaw, but any person, he was the type of character that he saw what was in front of him and he acted on what was in front of him. He could analyze the situation and say, okay, there's 3 of them. I'm going to act accordingly because I understand there are 3 opponents. He would have changed the game plan up if he knew there was 3 more lurking and their abilities. But remember, he took the time. He took the time to assess all their abilities and run through and stuff like that. He had the capabilities. He just didn't know it was 6 of them, and that presented a challenge for him. And even when he found out it was 6 of them, he was still giving them hands. He still had a whole Piccadilly menu of hands for these niggas, but they overwhelmed him. So hey, he did what he could. He did what he could do, what he had, and even in his dying breath, instead of giving up, he went big. Instead of giving up, he went big on big, and still had enough wherewithal, like his student Minato, to provide the crucial information that his village would need to survive what he knew was coming. Now, nobody beats Minato. Nobody beats Minato in coming up with the shit he came up with within 5 minutes of him dying. Nobody gonna beat that nigga. Nobody gonna beat that nigga. Because
he put built to ass to Obito with the large Rasengan, yo, and then put a seal on his motherfucking back, yo.
And that seal never left.
Listen, within 30 minutes, this nigga beat Obito. I won't even say within 30 minutes, within 20 minutes. Or we'll say within 30 minutes, he staved off the Nine Tails. Beat Obito, released the Genjutsu held on Nine Tails by Obito, stopped the Nine Tails from killing his son, sealed the Nine Tails, half of the Nine Tails in his son, sealed the other half in him, created a chakra, implanted his chakra and his wife's chakra inside his son, and then died. Listen.
And that's like what, all in what, within 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Boy,
And that brings
me to my next. That nigga Obito thought that shit was sweet. He said, "I win."
That boy said, "Level, get your teleportation up, pussy nigga." The ultimate in pre-prior planning. And speaking of the ultimate in pre-prior planning, that brings me to my next and possibly my favorite character, I think, in all of anime. Because if you want to talk about somebody who has success without the spotlight, you want to talk about somebody who is suffering from fucking success. You want to talk about somebody who suffered a great loss and then went back to put the fucking trophies on the wall. You want to talk about the real puppet master? You can't, you can't, you cannot talk about numbers on the board. You cannot talk about getting back at a nigga and getting a nigga get back and a nigga thinking things through. You don't know how to think 20 steps ahead if you're not talking about the young goat, the green hatted menace, the hat and claws himself, the bane of Sosuke Isaac's fucking entire immortal existence. I'm
Okay,
talking
how
about the
drip.
goat. Oh,
The
I forgot the
fact
drip guy.
that he said suffering from success like he DJ Khaled. That's just,
Because my dog don't lose, my dog just readjusts. My dog lost one time 110 years ago. You never heard him lose again.
Mm.
And I'm gonna tell you why I like it. I'm gonna tell you what Kisei represents to me. He represents that by any means, by any means, can the greater good be accomplished. Because he didn't do everything the right way. He should have told Rukia what he had done when it came to the Hokioku. He should have told her that he put it in her. But you know what? He had to do that because he knew that niggas was king. And he made it happen because he relied on not just his what he was capable of, but what Ichigo was capable of. At any time, excuse me, that he felt Ichigo wasn't capable, because remember, we always forget Ichigo knows how to fight because of Kisei Urahara. He had that little base of martial arts training. He knew to fight as a Super Reaper because Kisei Urahara taught him how to fight. Kisei Urahara gives one of the greatest speeches ever on fear and hesitation. If you have not watched that episode of Bleach, go fucking watch that shit and then go run through a fucking brick wall. If you don't feel motivated to run through a brick wall, I am commanding you to commit seppuku on the spot. Slit your fucking belly because you don't have what it fucking takes. Because that nigga told him, I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in you, man. You say you want to save everything, but your blade just reeks. You know, when you block, it's because you don't want to get injured. When you attack, it's because you don't want to see your friends get hurt. When you dodge, it's because you're trying to move out of the way. He said, all you do when you swing that sword is swing it because you're afraid. He said, your blade reeks of senseless fright. And he said, that's no good. He said, you cannot go through life swinging a blade of fear. When you swing your blade, because you're saying, I'm going to cut somebody. When you block, you're going to say, I'm not going to let somebody hurt me. When you protect your friends, I'm not going to let them get killed. And when you attack to kill. You got to have intent behind everything that you motherfucking do, my boy. Ichigo never forgot that motherfucking lesson. Besides that, he suffered one of the greatest defeats. This motherfucker Sosuke Aizen to make an example out of him. And he did it because at no point did Kisei ever project himself to be an arrogant man. He was a nigga who wanted to do his research and go by his way in peace and serve and be of service. Because in everything he did, he didn't want to be a captain, but Yoriichi pushed him to be a captain, and she convinced him it was for the greater good. He was comfortable being the third seat because the third seat, he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was able to do everything else he was doing in the research side in peace. When she convinced him that he would have more benefits as a captain, which he did because he created the research society, he took up the chance. He took up the message. And when he realized that Aizen had used his when Aizen had used his invention to hurt his friends, he was the first one on the scene, even when he was told not to. And he was willing to pay the price when they caught him, if it wasn't for Yoriichi saving him. And even when his life was on the line, even when his life was on the line, he fucking gathered up all the Vizar and still saved their life. He could have ran. He could have took his people and fled. Him and Tekai and Yoriichi could have bucked. Who was really gonna fuck with them and fight them? Who's gonna really come after them? But he took them with him because he knew that he had to clean up what he messed up, and I always respected that about him. And then that boy said about the next 110 years getting his get back. Because you know what he know one thing about a pussy nigga ain't gonna stop until you stop him. He know that about a bully. A bully wasn't gonna stop, and he knew Isaac's ambitions was gonna keep going until he put an end to it.
Okay,
And
okay.
even when he did it, and even when he did it, he never bragged about being smarter because he understands something about intelligence and the knowing of things that a lot of people don't understand. See, a lot of people brag about being intelligent and having smarts and finding out things. There is a terror behind knowing. There is a terror in knowing. And even Keith Day, I said it when Eisen lashed out him and when he found out he put that seal on that boy, he said, I hate you. How could you sit there and be subservient to that thing? The Keisuke say, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." The Keisuke say, "Oh man, you tripping." Keisuke said, "Oh, so you seen it too?" Talking about the Soul King. He never shied away from it. But when he told him, he said, "I understand that as the Lich King. Me and you are moving from completely. We're moving. We got two different types of motion, my boy. You, if I don't know if y'all remember Eisen's speech about why he was doing what he did, and he said, no one has stood at the top of this shit. No one has stood at the top of the heavens. Not the Soul Reapers, not Yamamoto. None of them people have stood at the pinnacle, at the precipice of this shit. He said, remember when he was going into Hueco Mundo and they was taking him? He said, my goal is to to rise up and end the unbearable vacancy. Somebody needs to rule over you niggas. So somebody needs to show you niggas who's boss. And it just so happens I'm the nigga to do it. And by hook or by crook, I'm gonna do it. And in that moment, Urahara robbed him of that. Even when he was so confident he was gonna do it. Urahara trained Ichigo so well. Urahara put things into place so much that the second that Aizen doubted himself, that nigga was killed. The second he doubted himself and allowed him to feel like he wasn't strong enough to handle it, Urahara knew what to do. Not even knowing if Ichigo could beat him or not, but thinking 25 steps ahead. That nigga told him that's the linchpin. He's something that you can't be, my boy. He's not something that you can be. So you got to hold that. And what did he do as soon as they came back from that shit? He apologized for putting them through that shit because he understood. So I say he's suffering from success because he understood the error of his mistake and he never missed another shot. He went Steph Curry in the paint. That nigga was Steph Curry, Team USA. Y'all remember that game when they was playing against France? And that nigga went ball to ball. That nigga don't miss. That nigga stopped missing. That boy went 2015, 2016 Golden State Warriors, Splash Brothers. But it's because he understood his purpose too. He's never going to be a person, and he always knows to succeed. To succeed, he has to be the one pulling the strings. This nigga, this nigga was one of the five war powers. Everybody else had some type of term. Somebody has some type of term that you can understand. Ichigo, amazing potential. We don't know how far he gonna go. Uh, Kenpachi Zaraki, strongest soul reaper. Crazy, dumb, stupid. We don't know how we gonna handle this boy. Ichibe Hyosobe, his wisdom. He know about things that happen in the beginning, and he kind of know what's gonna happen in the end. Sosuke Aizen, his Ryatsu after he got the whole Yoku and his endurance, you can't beat his spiritual pressure. This nigga Urahara, this nigga Urahara was a special war power for his incalculable schemes. This nigga got on the list because he stayed scheming. Come on, man. This nigga got on the list because you can't figure him out. You can't figure him out. And I never, and I always appreciate that a nigga always stay plotting and a nigga always stay scheming for the greater goal because that's success. Success is success is accomplishing your goal and then saying, okay, what's next? What's coming up after this? And I always admired Kisuke for that because Kisuke took. And I don't know if y'all remember when they brought Kisuke back in the fold, he shed tears. He was happy. That was the only time he really showed emotion because all he wanted to do was be of use. A man shuts you out of your home for his own nefarious goals, and you get that back, and they welcome you back with open arms to redeem yourself. He never really showed emotion before that, but he showed emotion and got back to work. So those are my two gentlemen. You know, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. It's my birthday. I'm gonna let y'all round it out.
Shit, I chose a crash out, and I chose someone that's cooler than the other side of the pillow. I chose the dual Zanpakuto dealing, the motherfucker with the straw hat, the motherfucker former captain of the eighth court, Kiraku. Yo,
One of my favorite.
assumed the role of commander after Yamamoto had passed. Like, and who would have thought he would have assumed that role because he was so cool, he was so laid back. But people took that cool and laid back type of attitude and took that shit for kindness. But he wanted all the smoke and he was strategic. And then I took the opposite of that, a crash out. You know, he didn't have one for all, but he had that combustion court, and he was rival with Deku, Bakugo, and I felt
You
like,
gotta always have a Bakugo, dog.
yo, listen, you got
Everybody
to,
needs a
you know what I'm
Bakugo in
saying?
their life.
But when it came time to have his moment, you and it goes back to what I was saying with Naruto. Bakugo he had some genius moments within
Mm-hmm.
within that anime. You know what I'm saying? And even though he, like I say, even though he didn't have one for all, he had a pivotal role in that anime.
Right.
So like, yeah, those is my two. They two total opposites, but if I feel like if Bakugo was to like, when he got to the point where he was all about business, he settled down, and he looked at the whole situation, he came on top. He sacrificed himself at the end, and came back. You know what I'm saying? Then and like I said, Kiraku was just all out strategic, and everything he did. Yamamoto was a beast, but he's seen potential in Kiraku, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't go wrong with that shit. He trained him. He trained him and he saw he was different. He was laid back and he was wild. You know, he was a womanizer and shit like that. But he was perceptive. That's
yeah,
one thing I always give Kiraku. He was perceptive. He saw through to the heart of matters. And he was willing to do things. He was willing to do things that other people wouldn't do because he he didn't let pride or ego get in his way. He wouldn't let pride or ego get in his way. Y'all remember what he told the members of the Gote when he released Aizen, and they was like, "Oh, you don't have no shame and you don't have no all this and no honor." Listen, what's honor? What's honor in the face of this? I don't think it. He said one of the coldest lines I've ever heard. He said, "I don't view using evil to defeat evil itself is an evil act." And them niggas had to look at him. They had to eat it. He said, I don't view using evil to defeat evil in itself as an evil act. Yeah, he's a bad guy. Yeah, he did us what you call it, but guess what?
He did some questionable shit, but it was for the love of the game. Though.
Huh?
Well, I said he did some questionable shit, but it was like for the right reasons.
Right. And I'll tell you one of the first things he did that I knew he was about to take off. When he appointed those two vice captains and the Gote and the Central 46 was like, nah, We don't never. We don't. You don't need two captains. Nobody needs two lieutenants. He said, "Nah, motherfucker. But the rules say I can pick whoever I want as my lieutenant." He said, I'm gonna use the captain that who was already the vice captain of the third seat. I'm gonna promote him to vice captain because he understands the first division. He can handle the first division, and I need him now so that because she understands me and them understanding me together. I know what I need to be balanced out. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna make sure that my squad, because listen, he was a captain for hundreds of years. He knows that the squad has to be kept happy. So listen, I'm gonna make sure that my men are taken care of and they're well seen too. But I'm also gonna make sure that the now is here to keep me in check because she knows how to handle me and what I need. And
Strategic, yo.
because he's so fucking smart, he knew he had to keep
Strategic.
her close. So he was strategic. Even bringing Eisen out when Eisen told him, "Oh, you want to unloosen this? Hell, nah, nigga. I know you want to live though." And like he told him down in the in Mugen, your destiny is intrinsically linked to ours. Because eventually, the nigga already came to see you. Eventually, he's gonna find a way to kill you. So
Cool.
we're going to our destinies are intrinsically linked. And at the end of the day, I know what you have. He said, "I know what you have that we all have. You have honor as a soul reaper, but you're still a soul reaper, bitch. So you still have honor as a Shinigami." So he set that shit in motion, and he let it be what it was. So I love that Bakugo. You already know Bakugo is a Bakugo.
Crash
I'm gonna
out.
say Bakugo is he's a crash out. He's from the Vegeta school, but it was because he wanted to be acknowledged by having a purpose. He wanted people to acknowledge that I have a purpose, that I am here and I am a hero. You know, and he wanted people to know that he take this seriously. He willing to bleed for it. He willing to die for it. And in everything he did, he showed it. And when he got his opportunity, which is the beautiful thing about success without the spotlight, because a nigga who make a move and who's successful without the spotlight, when you give him his time to shine, boy, that boy gonna blind you. And that's what Bakugo did. He was like, God damn, God damn. And One for All told him that he was a nobody. That motherfucker said, I'm Bakugo. Remember me. I'm the one that held you up. I'm a nobody, and yet you're here running out of time. A nigga told him I'm a nobody, but yet here you are running out of time, nigga. So, hey, he taught people, hey, you don't underestimate the people who you find useless because you can't use them. And that's one of the downfalls of a villain. They always look for broken and shielded people so that you can use them. But Bakugo wasn't a broken person. Shigaraki was broken. Bakugo wasn't no broken person. You feel me? All them other people in the League of Villains and shit like that, they was all broken people. They was broken. They was rejects. They used their powers and mastered their powers to do bad because the other people had done bad upon them. Bakugo was no evil person. He wasn't no lost person. And guess what? That leads into the power of knowing who the fuck you are. Let me get off this
Mm-hmm.
soapbox. Because you know why I respect fucking Vegeta and I respect Bakugo and niggas like them? They know who they are. They know
Oh
who they
wait,
are.
so I had one for that too. Mind you, I had two more, but because I was like, you know what? I knew you finna come with some bullshit. I knew you finna come with that fire, nigga. So I was right. Let me just keep it
Nah,
going. But
lay it on because I'm about to,
one of my niggas out though. But we're gonna
huh?
talk about him. So you already canceled one of my niggas out though. But we gonna talk
Ooh,
about him.
Jiraiya.
No, we gonna talk about that after this. But knowing who you are, you said it at the right time, sir.
so you tell me.
Fucking Killua Zoldyck.
Mm.
Hunter Hunter, baby. Hey, listen,
You gotta know who
you
you
gotta
are.
understand, dog.
And
He was
that's
that nigga.
threading the needle. That's threading the needle because Killer is technically a Deuteran antagonist, but we gonna run with it because I want to talk about Killer.
But you gotta
I want
follow.
to
You
talk
gotta
about
think.
Killer.
Let me cook.
Nah,
So
it's all good. It's good because I want to
could
talk
have been
about this crazy nigga.
no Killua could have been he could have been the main character of the show himself too, just like with Shanks. He could have. But you know what? When he found that missing piece to his broken soul with Gong,
Mm-hmm.
he knew I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna make it about me. I'm making it about him. His whole purpose was to what? Make sure I keep his innocence. Because I can kill any and everybody in this thing. This nigga, I'm a hunter off rip. He's a born bred assassin. He could body anybody in that verse. We see what he did to homeboy in that during the
when they got stuck when they was going through the hunter exam.
Not even a hunter exam, but we could talk about that too. I'm talking about homeboy.
When he took Buddy Hart out of his fucking chest.
Put it in a fucking paper to go.
That's when you knew he was a G. And he talking about, oh yeah, my dad would have did it without no blood being dropped. What? You knew he was a badass.
It was that boy.
No. Then you had him the Chimera Act art when he was fighting that dude. Big brother, the strong fucking act. And he went into Godspeed mode.
Right.
That's when you knew he himself can knock out pretty much anybody that was in that verse.
Yeah.
But his whole purpose was to make sure he kept Gong's innocence intact. Later down that line, it did go down. You know what I mean? He could have fulfilled it because the homeboy who died. Because when Pito killed homeboy, but for the most part, that's what he was doing. And now he had self gratification, making sure that Gong did not have to see the cruelty of the world. So now he's just like, you know what? I could live off. I feel good off of that. And you know, there's some people that actually operate that way. Right. I feel more satisfied seeing you win, making sure you're still good, and I could just be in the background. No, I could be the main character at any point of this fucking story. But I'd rather you do you.
Right.
And you live life, you keep growing stronger, you keep doing what you're doing, you keep looking for your dad, whatever. But when you have obstacles where there's like with Shanks, when you feel like, you know what, he ain't ready to see this, I'm gonna go ahead and step in and knock it out.
Yeah.
Fuck. Now the nigga you canceled earlier, nigga, was fucking Satoru Gojo.
We can talk about the young nigga Gojo. Shout out to Ralph. Let's talk about the young nigga Gojo. Come on.
Man,
the only reason I said Gojo, because Gojo had his own art to try to understand what he was going through. But hidden inventory was necessary so you can understand why things were the way they were. But if we put him up there,
entire fucking verse, when your birth shakes up the entire verse, nigga, that's a problem.
Listen,
you the main character not even being the main character.
Power buff, when cursed spirits get a power buff because you're born, because life has to balance out. The world has to balance out.
Everybody had to balance out. Everybody's like, you know what? Yeah, we can't be out here doing what we're doing because there's some guy out here who can fuck us up off GP.
And you know what I give? To Gojo? What he did do in the background that influenced everybody, and you can give him his respect. Just suffering because he was a young nigga. He was untouchable, but he committed instead of losing his people and thinking he could save everybody. His devotion was to create a nigga so strong that they could be next to him. Remember, he said, "I want to cultivate strong allies."
Yes, but I think how the manga perceived it was that he was tired of being the go-to person. He wanted to raise the next generation where he don't have to be called.
So I agree, because at the end of the manga, when they were talking to him, like after he died, remember he was like, "Why is everybody trying to be the next me? I'm tired of everybody saying, my name always coming up and me being him rivaling Satoru Gojo. Like, why can't we live in a world how will we live in a world without me? Or like, can't you compare it?" I think that's why he got so excited. If we were gonna, well, you know what? I'll give you Gojo because we can't really compare to Yuta. Because Yuta is technically the real Deuteran antagonist. He's like another protagonist of fucking Jujutsu Kaisen. But we can't talk about the young nigga Yuta. We
Yeah,
can't talk about
he was the original. Yeah, he was the
we can't talk
original.
about the young niggas Yuta because Yuta just Yuta collecting bodies, boy. That boy cold when he lock in, boy.
Hey,
That boy
but I don't
cold
know
when
if
he
you
lock
read the manga for the sequel manga for JJK.
in.
Mochilo,
I did.
you see that nigga.
Yep.
You see-
So
what everything that Gojo was sitting here trying to raise up is exactly what Yuji became. That person where you don't have to worry about looking for Gojo anymore. You have somebody who could take care of everything.
listen,
But
I got another one.
Say what?
I got another one for Naruto who's suffering success. Shout out to the young nigga Shikamaru Nara.
Yeah, Shikamaru.
Shout out to the young nigga Shikamaru Nara. This is one I wasn't gonna bring up, but y'all niggas want to
The
go
most
specific. I got
intelligent
one in the hole.
Shikamaru.
I got one in the hole, nigga. Y'all niggas think I ain't have another one in the hole. Shout out to the young nigga Shikamaru.
Yeah,
You know
Shikamaru,
why
man.
I understand Shikamaru? Because Shikamaru wanted a simple life. And when he understood that life wasn't gonna be so simple, he locked in. Every time he realized life wasn't gonna be so simple and he could easily listen, the nigga became a true in by giving up, understanding when he was locked in and he was time to surrender. The nigga became a Jonin because he was a good leader. The nigga avenged his master because he motherfucking locked
Yeah,
in.
he got his
He
get back,
grieved,
nigga.
he grieved, and he
Got his
understood the
get
only
back.
way. He gives one of the greatest quotes of all time if you niggas never understood about karma and vengeance. It's an old Japanese quote. It says, "When you curse someone, you dig two graves."
Yep.
The title of the manga chapter when he killed what's his name was called Two Graves. When he what was that nigga name? Hedon. When he
Hedon,
killed
yeah.
Hedon, the title of that chapter was called Two Graves. And he said there's a saying, when you curse someone, you dig two graves. One for you and one for yourself. One for him and one for yourself. And he already understood. So he told him, any other person would have took their vengeance and would have just been satisfied with just thinking they could kill Hedon again and again and again until Hedon figured out how to get some of their blood and kill them. Fucking Shikamaru already knew, nigga, I'm gonna take your blood and I'm gonna set you up to kill yourself. Oh no, he didn't take his blood. He took Kakazu's blood so that one of Kakazu's heart could be fucking crushed. And when he got him, he blew him up. He understood his opponent. So he didn't waste his sensei's death. He didn't waste his sensei's death on just seeking vengeance. He did what he needed to do and he still followed through on the assignment. So yeah, nigga, I'm gonna get my sensei. I'm gonna get my get back from my sensei, but I'm also still going to protect the fucking lead. So yeah, I'm gonna take you motherfuckers down. I'm gonna blow you up and I'm gonna bury your body. And besides that, Shikamaru suffering from success because he committed himself to be. I'm a stand by. I know this nigga Naruto is going to be the Hokage. And when that day comes, I'm a stand by. I have to get better so that I can be his trusted advisor. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember one of them episodes when that nigga told Naruto was just walking around and both of them was up early. Both of them was up early in the morning and Shikamaru was leaving. And Shikamaru told Naruto, hey, don't slack off on take as many missions as you can. Take as many missions as you can. Just because you're a war hero doesn't mean that you can slack off. You have to take as many missions as you can. You have to take as many opportunities as you can because everybody's depending on you. And we're depending on you to get as good as you can because when it's your time to become Hokage, everybody's going to trust him. He never let his dog slip. He never let his dog slide. This nigga was essentially the field commander during the fucking Great Ninja War. This nigga was laying out strategy at 17 fucking years old. Now this nigga's the eighth Hokage.
Shit, you can look at fucking Zoro.
Yeah.
Zoro. Hey, Zoro, you can kind of put Zoro with Killua because Zoro just want to see Zoro want to see fucking he want to be the greatest swordsman of One Piece, but he wants to essentially see Luffy win.
Yeah.
But he's a big beast. Look at his growth. Look at his growth going through Wano, and to look at him now.
Mm-hmm. You could say the same thing about Sanji. Like,
Rahu?
huh?
Rahu?
Sanji.
Oh, Sanji?
Because
Yeah.
they two sides of the same coin. But they have their motivations, but at the end of the day, they want to see Luffy win. And they understand that Luffy has to win because it's just something about a father. And then I give shout out to what Zoro told Chopper when Chopper first joined the crew and they went to Alabasta. I remember he said, "It seems like I'm joining the crew of unserious people." And he said, "Nah, our captain's not serious, but guess what? He has a dream, and all of us are committed to seeing his dream through. And the way he pursues his dream is what makes us want to pursue our dreams." So, yeah, we might be ragtag, we might be crazy as fuck, but guess what? When we come together, we a family. We make the shit work.
Or even how he handled the situation with Usopp, and
Mhm.
and and
Oh,
he basically he basically told hey, y'all stay out of it, because
Yeah,
if he going to be a captain, he gotta be able to handle these type of
we
situations.
got to make captain decisions.
Yeah.
And
So
that's what the first
he
do.
understood what it takes what it takes, how he understood what it would take for him to be the pirate king. You know what I'm saying? He will have to make them uncomfortable situations, and also he will have to also be able to even put himself in line of fire. Like he took all of his pain. He took all his captain pain from Bartholomew.
And when a nigga saw the aftermath, that boy said nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
nothing.
So he understood, hey, he gotta have some soldiers in
You want to
this
know?
journey,
And I
and he
give
also have to make a crazy ass decision.
you know why I love Zoro too? This nigga Zoro never stopped training. He always trains to adapt to the environment where them niggas find themselves in. Them niggas on the them niggas in the desert island, that nigga doing squats and running through the desert. Them
And it
niggas in the
shows though.
fucking wasteland, this nigga lifting weights and fucking fighting fucking sea kings in the frozen desert and swimming in the goddamn what you call it. Got his shirt off and fucking zero below fucking getting it down. But guess what? I heard a
Hey, I
quote
got
one time. I heard a quote one time about Zoro that, of course, he had to take his. I'm gonna tell y'all something because it's a journey that he has. I'm gonna get deep on you niggas for a second. Don't judge me because it's my birthday and I'm trying to get into the zone. There is a literary term that the Greeks used called katabasis. Katabasis means to go under, and what it teaches you is that in all our great stories, somebody has to take a journey into the underworld to come back with something of value to save their people. Odysseus, since we were talking about the Odyssey earlier, Odysseus had to go into the underworld and lead people out. Persephone went into the underworld. Um, shit, you can look at motherfucking Hercules had to go into the underworld. Nigga, you can look at fucking what Ichigo did. Ichigo went to the afterlife to go save his friend Rukia. He had to go. He had to take a journey. He had to take a journey. And he had to endure it. The concept of catabasis means that you're going down and coming back up with something of value. And Zoro's journey, you could say that he went into the underworld. He searched into the depths. He went lowest he could go. Well, he experienced the only loss he ever experienced when he lost to Mihawk. And from that loss, he got brought so low that he journeyed through the underworld and trained himself and honed himself. And now that nigga has come out as the king of hell. The nigga has come through all of that, and now when he activates his highest mode, his highest technique, he activates what he calls king of hell. And it's about the journey, man. Oh man, y'all about to get me worked up on my birthday. It's about journey. Like even and you know what one of my favorite things about One Piece is one of my favorite moments in One Piece is when when Ace died at and Whitebeard died at the Marine Fort War at the Summit War, and Luffy came and he had put the tattoo on his arm because remember they said they was gonna meet up in 3 weeks, and that nigga did he exited out and put 2 years, and his team his crew knew him so well they all understood it in their different places. We stay here, we train, we get better, we journey. We got to take ourselves on through that. When we come back, then we'll be ready. Everybody has to go. Everybody has to go make themselves better. If that isn't a perfect example of the area that we are in our lives as millennials, I know I'm getting abstract, but hey, we spent so much time together as a crew when we were younger. Now it got to a point all of a sudden, hey, everybody had to go on their own individual journey. And the blessing is in it is they come back. They come back more useful than before. We come back with the things that we know, and we come back with the talents and experiences and energy to do more. You feel me? And that's one of those things where you have to give them credit because there's no wasted time. And when they got back together, it was like no time was wasted at all. And listen, they knew everything they needed to know to go for what they needed to go for, and they still kept training, they still kept learning, they still kept building. And like it's just that's why you have to have those characters who have that success without the spotlight, man. It's a beautiful thing because when they come together, when we work hard and we achieve these things, there's always somebody in the spotlight. I'm gonna give y'all one more. I'm gonna give y'all one more another nigga that's suffering from success. He's a main character of this franchise, but he is used somewhat sparingly, but he suffers when he does take the spotlight. That's the only light that you need. Overwhelming, brilliant, shining like the sun, you might say. The one, the only, the good God, he's a goat. I'm digging deep from the seven deadly sins. That nigga Escanor.
Escanor.
And you know the only reason I want to talk about Escanor, dog? I'm drinking. I'm in my feelings, but Escanor was a real one. Escanor was the lion's sin of pride, and with his power and everything, he could have had anything he wanted, and the only person that he wanted, and the only woman he wanted to impress, would not love him back. I'm not even gonna say could not love him back, would not love him back. And that nigga went out so cold, sacrificed himself for his friends, and went out so cold. He earned the love of a woman who said she would never love him. That she gave him a kiss, my undying love for the only and respect for the only man that ever loved me. That motherfucker said, and what a lonely love you are. Mm, the the finest wine to inebriate all of the senses. But alas, I cannot be the chalice that holds you. Ah, who told these niggas that in anime to start doing poetry? That nigga sound like one of us. He said, "Oh Lord God, I pray, pray, I pray you find the love. I pray
Man,
you find
that's
the
good.
love." He one of the coldest. And if you want to look at Escanor, you can look at Bond. You can look at Bond. You can
I
look at
think
Bond.
I think everybody, with the exception of Meliodas and what's my boy name?
Who?
The dog.
Who? Oh, Gotha.
Gother. Yeah. Them two you can cancel out. Everybody else, even with King, bro, that shit was like
I
you,
like
you could
King.
you could throw him in you could throw him in that category.
I like King, man. But hey, all right.
You hit it with the Escanor.
Nah, Eskimo suffers the success, and he only came in to teach proper lessons, all. And then the thing is, his the things that he was impervious to is because a sense of self. He got them niggas back in motion, bruh. When that nigga came and that nigga said, "Oh, my ability is that you hate me. If you have hate in your heart for me, you can't attack me." He said, "Why would I hate anybody that's weaker than me?"
Mm.
You already know where that come from, John. You know when our favorite lines came from that sequence. Who decided that? Who decided that? I can't beat you. Who decided that? Come on. Your darkness gonna outshine my sun? Who decided that?
Who decided that?
But if you brothers don't mind, or if y'all don't got anything else to say, is it time for my final thought?
What about Askeladd?
Oh, you want to go there? You want to go there?
Askeladd, hey, Askeladd was he was that guy, man.
But you know what? He was the beauty of a complicated character.
Very, very much so.
There's beauty in complicated characters. And I like, and that's one of the things. That's one of the beautiful things about anime. Anime doesn't sugarcoat when the character is complex. He has his own motivations, and listen, he the one who set it up for Thorfinn's father to die.
Right.
But he told him, he said, "You'll understand that this is just the nature of things. These things happen." And he said, "If you ever could take your vengeance on me, take your vengeance on me. But for the course of it, I still have my own purpose. I still have my own purpose. I have my own goals to reach. I have my own desires." And once you understand that, and he tried to teach Thorfinn. He tried to teach Thorfinn the same way everybody else do. But the caveat with that is he was trying to teach Thorfinn to let it go when Askeladd ended up himself would have never let the shit go. His intentions to do what he needed to do for his homeland, he would have never let it go. And that's the beauty of the character that's hypocritical because he understood that Thor was a great warrior and he died as a consequence of war. And what Askeladd was trying to achieve was almost near impossible, but he had the mindset to do so. And he wasn't going to stop him. Even in his death, he believed that shit. What I'm doing is pushing that shit forward. Askeladd was a great character. Damn, that was shout out to Sticky for fucking pulling that one up. That was a good one.
That was the goat.
Askeladd was a good ass character, boy.
Shit, Sinbad.
Oh,
Ooh.
Sinbad.
Ooh. All right.
He's sniping now.
All right.
Like that, yo.
This is gonna be a fucking 2-hour show fucking around with y'all asses, bro.
Oh, I'm talking about a final thought. You niggas standing up in Las Vegas. Woo, Sinbad. But manga is one of my favorite animes of all time. It's one of my favorite. I'm not even gonna say anime. It's one of my favorite mangas of all time.
That shit's left on, yo.
But you gotta read. You gotta read not just the manga, but you gotta read the legend, the prequel, the Legend of Sinbad. You gotta read. I think they made that into anime too. But you gotta understand the things that happen to Sinbad to push Sinbad into despair. Because he went through a lot. Niggas don't know that Sinbad was sold into slavery. Traded his kingdom and was sold into slavery and all that other shit like that. It's a lot of things that pushed him into despair. But it was his tenacity and understanding he had a way out. Understanding his powers and his prowess, and it's to me, Sinbad's story kind of reminds me of the story of Siddhartha Gautama, the one the being or the prince that would become the Buddha. Like to be stripped of all of those things, to be gifted with all those things and be gifted with great talent, and to be stripped of it all and to have to let that shit go. Because that's a lot of things. Remember, he lost his friends, he lost a lot of his comrades, he lost a lot of people who went, who sided with him in his Seven Seas Alliance and shit like that. That initial crew, a lot of them lost their lives, a lot of them went down, a lot of them fell in combat. So he fell into a lot of despair. And that's where they wanted him because they knew that whatever he was going to be the thing that was going to shake up the world. That nigga was Satoru Gojo before we knew who Satoru Gojo was. Sinbad was the precursor to Satoru Gojo. There was nothing you could do with that nigga.
Yeah.
That nigga had so many gen, they wouldn't let his ass into another dungeon. They said, nah, nigga, you maxed out. That nigga had as many gen as you could have Pokemon in your fucking whatchamacallit. He's gonna do it. Even the monkey that was sent to guide other people was afraid of Sinbad. I remember Jafar said, I don't understand this nigga. Yeah, I don't understand this. I don't like him. I don't understand.
I gotta get back into that. I gotta get back into the manga again.
And listen, what he did is he understood what his ability was too. He understood that he was powerful, but he knew that he recognized to see greater things. He had to provide provision. He provided provision for Aladdin. He provided provision for Alibaba. He made a way for Aladdin to go to Manga Stop. When them niggas was in trouble in Manga Stop, he pulled up with the entire crew. He was more powerful than them, but he was a background character. He was a background character because guess what? He could have ended the series anytime he wanted to. But he knew that wasn't his destiny. So he followed to fulfill what was laid out for him. And remember, he said, I don't give a fuck what my destiny is. We gonna rock this shit out because these people are my friends. I remember when Aladdin asked him, why are you helping me? He said, I have my reasons, but more especially because it's the right thing to do, and y'all are my friends. Listen. It gets deep. I'm trying to remember what manga that was where a motherfucker asked, why would you help me? He said, because he's my friend. Why would you do it? He's my friend. Hey, that's the pinnacle of a background character. Or not even a background character, but one of them characters that's just in the midpoint. Listen, ain't no nobler sacrifice than those one who would give their life for a friend. Oh, what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting. Forgive me. I brought Shikamaru up. The real mid character that I should have brought up. Rest in peace to the young goat Neji Hyuga. Because Neji Hyuga was the epitome of that.
Who?
Neji.
Neji?
Oh.
That shit hit me hard. Neji used to be one of my favorite fucking characters. Neji was my favorite character before Jiraiya came through.
With a different palm technique, yo.
Yeah.
That palm technique, yo.
Got introduced to the series by Molly whopping Hinata, went out the series, protected Hinata, taking a bullet for her.
Literally. Literally.
Listen.
Yeah, he was definitely a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
There's so many people. I hope once everybody see this one, they can go into the comments and react and give us some of their favorite characters. I would like to see that who everybody out there would think would be better characters for this. But if y'all don't mind, we gonna wrap it up and do our last thoughts. It's late. We gonna go
rip
on.
it, dog.
We can go on this forever, and you know we ain't gonna stop talking.
Right.
But simply put, success without the spotlight, in terms from an anime point of view, it sometimes seems like it's easy to deal with the pressure when the pressure is always on you, or when the spotlight is always on you. But sometimes it might be hard when the spotlight is not always on you, or I mean when the spotlight is on you. But I believe there's more pressure in you getting your one shot, like Eminem say, and you not fucking it up. I believe there's more pressure in them saying, "Hey, this is your one shot to get it right. This is your coming out party. This is you doing what you need to do for the benefit of how you need to get it done." And only few people really show up when the spotlight hits them. The characters that we have mentioned today, they have been people. I talked about provision. I talked about the characteristic of a person who works in the background because they know that their destiny is to provide, to clear a path. And I think those are the best characters that we have in anime and manga. Those who are powerful, who we are in awe of, in the techniques that they use and the ways that they move and operate. But there's something about clearing a path for the main character. We're in awe of the main characters too, but there's something that we kind of like miss in anime that I think that we miss in real life too. That there are so many people that are clearing the path for us. You know, there are so many people there saying, "Hey, I know you're going through something, but man, I'm working in the background on your behalf. I'm interceding." You know, like the three of us on this fucking call, we already know that's the type of. We already know if there's anything that we need, hey, bro, if there's any way that we can work, I'm gonna clear a path for you to get there. I don't care if you're working in the job or we done did something in the org or even if it's just to get from day to day. Hey man, the best I can do is clear a path for you, but I can do it in a way and I can do it exceedingly and abundantly for you so that you can shine to your maximum. And what I love about characters like Jiraiya, like I love about characters like Shanks, is that they don't need the spotlight. They got enough pressure on them because niggas know they a threat, but they willing to take the heat. They willing to take the heat. Look, listen, niggas get shook up when them niggas come. Niggas get shook down when them niggas come. Niggas get worried. Niggas fleed on sight when Minato showed up. Niggas fled and was scared when they heard about Jiraiya. Curses literally curses literally died on sight when Gojo showed up. Niggas gave up. Niggas didn't even want no smoke with red hair Shanks. But it's because that reputation that they built in the battles that they fought, not to just build their reputation to be the top man, but to clear the path and make it easier for the people who need to go fulfill their destiny. It's a humbling experience to know that life ain't always about you. And sometimes you're the main character of your story, but sometimes stories link up and it's not your time to win the day. And I think that's a good reflection on life too. How you are or who you are when you're not the main character of the story. When you're not the main character of the day, how do you operate? When this month isn't your month to be the main character, are you the guy that's sitting around and not gonna give the dude the leg up, or are you right there with your hand out saying, "Bro, let me get you there. Let me carry you across the finish line. Let me push you a little bit forward." You feel me? I think it's always, and then what anime also teaches us is even when them characters don't have the spotlight, when they get it, nigga, you do get the spotlight. If it ain't your turn, when it is your turn, nigga, you better rock. That's why it's always important to get ready and stay ready. That's why you always gotta have a training arc locked in, nigga. Y'all niggas making me about to run. It's the middle of the night. I'm about to go out here and jog. I'm about to jog, getting turned up about this dog. Cause you gotta stay ready, and that's what those characters teach us. Kisuke Urahara, always ready, impeccable schemes. Shiraku Shinji, that boy gave us one of the greatest quotes of all time. He said, "I've done everything I can. I think I'm at the end of my rope." He said, "The only thing left to do is let go of the rope. The only thing left to do is let go of the rope." And that
Nick
boy gave us
Moore. Dang, that's a good one.
Shanks. Shanks told them boys. Shanks told them boys, "Hey, did you fear the new generation? Did you fear these new legions that much that y'all have to attack them dishonorably? I can't allow that to happen. I can't allow that to happen." That boy told them, "If y'all want war, if y'all want to continue to fight, y'all can fight with us."
The boy said, "Nah, I'm straight."
Them boys called truce.
Go
Them boys
over.
went home. Them boys said, "We going home." They were at their home, nigga. Them niggas closed the gate.
I've been Batman got up there so fast, nigga.
Them niggas closed the gate. Another character that we didn't touch on from Jujutsu Kaisen that we should have most certainly touched on was Aoi Toto. Probably one of the greatest characters of all time that we should have put a what you call it on. That boy gave a speech to Yuji while that boy was sitting there crying because he thought Nobara was dead. That boy said, "Hey, in the Gion monastery in India, the solitaries there teach us the solitaries, and they're changing colors teach us about life and its impermanence." But that boy said, "However, we are the exception." And that's one of the things that why you have to have those characters when they get in the spotlight and how they enter. Because you have to let a nigga know that you are the exception. Sometimes you have to let niggas know we don't have that type of destiny. And that's what he told you, GB. That destiny laid out and just mourning over stuff like that. We have to honor our dead. We can't ask why they died. We have to know that they died doing what they love. Sometimes we question why things happen the way they happen, and sometimes we need to keep moving forward because guess what? Them niggas did what they were supposed to do. Lived in consequence of a life well lived. Sometimes you serve your purpose and that's what it is. And then sometimes you might not get to the end of the rainbow that you think you're gonna get to, but you have to do your best. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you motherfucking can. And if you did your best, guess what? You're gonna strike a mighty blow. And all you did was clear the path to get the job done. Selflessness. Selflessness sometimes feels like selfishness because when you put everything you have on the line, hey, life still goes on. But you gave the best you got. And the story they're gonna tell about you when it's over is that everything you had was enough. And that's one of the things that you have to know. At the end of the day, when you put down your battlements and when they bury you in that grave, if there's one thing they could put on my gravestone when I die, he gave everything he had to give, and it was enough.
Mm.
That's why success without the spotlight is more important than anything else, man. Because guess what? You don't need everybody to know what you do, but it reaps benefits. You got to grind. You got to stay down. I just told y'all about that Calabasas shit. Niggas had to go down. Niggas had to go down to come back up to be somebody. Sanji had to be brought down to his base rudiments. Sanji had to face the fact that he was the weakest of all of his family. And it's not, and guess what? It wasn't the fact that the things that they experimented on didn't take hold. He was resolved to do it himself. He was resolved to build his own strength. So by the time that shit came around, all it did was fortify him and make him stronger than his people. He matched the strength of his brothers and his sisters by his own hard work. And on the humbum, those experiments activated for him. Zoro even crazier. Zoro made a promise to himself. Zoro made a promise to himself and took himself through hell. He went back to the only man who beat him to teach him how to never be beat again. If that ain't humility, I don't know what the fuck is. He went to the only nigga that beat him, almost killed him to teach him how to never be beat again.
Yeah.
What
Nice
type of
that
shit
nigga.
is that? How many people lost the eye in the process? How many people could humble themselves to go to the person who took away, who crushed their dreams? Listen, an honorable nigga. You know how you know a nigga is honorable? If a nigga feels shame. The only way you know that you're an honorable nigga is if you feel shame of what you do. Because those that are wicked don't feel shame. Because they justify everything they do. They justify everything they do by the righteousness of their own wrongdoing. An honorable man feels shame.
Oh.
Mm.
That's how you know you human. That's how you know there's something ticking in your motherfucking chest, boy.
That was nasty.
However, it takes however,
That was nasty. I ain't finna hold you. Good God.
You right there.
Oh.
however, it takes a
Oh.
level of humility. It takes a level of humility for you to come back and the things that beat you. Oh my goodness. You know who else I forgot too? Lord forgive me, audience. I'm in the
That
middle
was
of my
nasty.
thoughts, but how could I be remiss to not mention one of my favorite characters in all of One Piece? Fucking Bartholomew Kuma.
Oh yeah.
How did we forget Bartholomew Kuma? Because he is
One of the
the
hardest lives.
epitome
Yo,
of success without the
if
sun.
if
And you know what? It's not even success
you
in
ain't seen
tragedy.
his backstory, nigga, you grab yourself a tissue, nigga.
Listen,
You ain't seen
but
hard
you
life
know,
and say you seen Bartholomew hard life, nigga.
and listen, I ain't even gonna talk about Kuma. I'm gonna stay off of Kuma because we have a topic coming off and I can reference it to Kuma. But Long story short, you don't need success isn't dependent on you being in front of everybody. Your time gonna come, and when your time comes, you got a ball. Everybody that we mentioned gave everything they had. Listen, even in Kisuke moment, even when Kisuke moment when he did finally reveal himself, every time he did reveal himself, he let you know exactly what he was about. He kept humility to the end. That nigga fucking I called him a genius. You know what that nigga said? Nah, I'm just a candy shop owner. That nigga Oscar Naklevar told that boy, oh, you one of the most dangerous niggas. You one of the most dangerous niggas out here. He said, nah, I'm just like you. I'm a scientist. I enjoy creating and breaking things down. He said, but the difference between me and you is that I build it with my own hands. Because I build it with my own hands, it's built to last, motherfucker.
I mean, well, shit. Since you want to sit here and jump on One Piece, nigga, go right back into this bitch again.
It's
Fucking
a whole
Silver Rayleigh and Scopper Caban, nigga. How the
Silverhead.
fuck? How the fuck are you sitting here? You still fulfilling a fucking your captain's wish after he fucking passed away about how long ago?
Because but listen, that's the conversation they had.
Yes. Yeah, I understand that.
But listen,
Well, I'm
but
saying,
success, but talking about success without the spotlight, they were there. They knew they had to wait. They knew they had to wait. And
if they
listen,
waited patiently.
listen. And I'm telling you, if I'm telling you, if you want to look at it in if you want to look at it in a spiritual sense, Shanks was the prophet. Shanks was the prophet, and
Yep.
they're the ones to bear witness and verify it. Shanks was the one who don't know what's there, but he knows his job is to make sure that the person that's destined to get there is to get there. The only what Luffy needs to know, he needs to know what's gonna happen when he gets the last tail. But the thing is, hey, Shanks never seen it, but Shanks knows what's coming, and Shanks knows that the only way to get him prepared is to prepare him by the way that the Pirate King was prepared. That's the only way. That's the
Even
only way.
like even the dude like what's the dude that was in the arc with well I don't know if it's like a whole arc, but the old dude that was when they went to see Laboon,
Crocus.
he
Crook,
was even
yeah,
there.
he was the
He
doctor.
was yeah, he was there. It's
So it go to show you, bro. It go to show you. It's just the level of the way that you operate in the background is the way that you operate in the background is going to show fully and matter the most when you get to the forefront, dog. When you got the time to shine, nigga, all that's left to do is ball. And all these motherfuckers, when they get their time to shine, they ball because they had that moment. And sometimes it's okay to play that background role because sometimes the best thing you can do is clear a path, and ain't nothing wrong with that because guess what? That's that's where the success comes from. Everybody can eat if we get to the goal. And truth, and like anime, everybody had that overarching goal unless you on the other side. It is what it is. But hey, this has been a great conversation, man. I enjoyed doing this on my birthday, man. Hey, this is a good one, dog. Um, Shout out to my brothers, man. I appreciate y'all bringing it in with my birthday with me. I'm on some goddamn Korean wine. This shit is taking me down through the. But a great start off to my birthday, man. If you're looking for me, you can send me a little cash out to Shashayla720. I'll put it on. You know who you are. Love me not. Whenever y'all see this, God damn it, it's still gonna be my birthday because I go all month long. I am your host and moderator, El Capitan con Fuego Feeder Bumbo, turning 38 years old, also known as the Backpack Prophet, also known to all you motherfuckers out there as CJ Ferguson. I am joined by my illustrious co-host, my brother to my left, certified to God. How could we do it without him? The man who's teaching you how to listen and pair your cigars to some of the realest movies out there. We got something coming for you. to the man, the myth, the legend to my right. The man whose name is whispered through empty beer bottles all the way in Guadalajara, Mexico.
Goddamn.
The goat of all goats.
The anime hot take too, nigga.
It's the anime hot take.
Killing it with the anime hot take.
The prestige parishioner. They call him the Khalid killer. They call him the Corona Sariona. The man, the myth, the motherfucking nasty face legend, John Sticky Face Stick. And we are the Up to a Podcast. I want to thank y'all for joining us. We got much, much more for y'all boys. We're gonna talk about DreamCon next episode because we ain't getting on this time, but we have some feelings about that.
Happy time.
Still wait on big, you know what I'm saying? Our big on big. I mean,
we're gonna get that big on big going. But hey, Capitan, for your birthday, my nigga, we're gonna have to go ahead and give you a quick little toast.
Well,
all right. So I drink for your health and company. I drink for your health alone. I drink for your health so many times, I nearly ruined my own. Up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We only do it because
we used to it. I love you. I appreciate y'all boys so much. I appreciate y'all out there. You could be anywhere else in the world, and you probably are. But when you're listening to this shit, you locking into some of the realest niggas who know about this anime and these podcast shit, boy. We are doing it. We're gonna keep doing it. This big on big is coming. We coming for your head top. You better believe me when I tell you. Until next time, America. Until next time, Japan. Until next time, all you other motherfuckers listening out there, do what we do. Please like, subscribe, follow.
All that
we got more coming for you, motherfuckers.
Get the fucking crust out your ass, niggas. We're fucking here, nigga. Wake your ass up. We're here, motherfucker.
Until then, motherfuckers, like my brother said, we only do this shit till we used to. We out of here.